is thermal imaging important or worth it? This is kind of a mixed bag where we're at, in my opinion. There's a lot that depends on the quality of your camera, the training that you have, the temperatures that you're working with. It can also give you false readings and things like that. So I think in some instances it can be helpful, but I think, let's give an example. So let's say we're in Colorado and it's 20 degrees outside, and we're looking at an exterior wall or up in the ceiling for the attic or something. Well, it's 20 degrees outside, so it's probably 65, 70 degrees inside. And if that's the case, well, then you've got a 40-degree temperature differential, and that can make it easy for you to see where you're getting heat loss or something like that. Now, look where we're at in the Pacific Northwest, and let's say it's 64 degrees outside, and you're trying to maintain an ambient temperature of 68. You got a 4-degree differential. It's a little harder for you to manage those close temperatures. Doesn't mean it doesn't work. I mean, you can see sometimes around toilets or where there's water that's at a different temperature or things like that. So it has its benefits. We can look at ducts that are producing heat, how much they're producing comparative to other ducts in the house or other areas in the house. We can compare the ambient temperature, whether or not the house is balanced, and those kinds of things. I think that there's lots of different approaches that you can take with a thermal gun, but I wouldn't give it like, oh my gosh, it's going to tell me everything. I think that you got to have the right training. You have to have the right conditions, and you got to have the right equipment. Just any thermal gun isn't always the best thing. And then when you're using it, just because you have that information doesn't mean that there aren't other tools available for you to be able to come up with some of the same results, or even experience. I think a lot of experienced people know what they're looking at, whether they got a thermal gun or not. So those kinds of things I think are really important to consider when you're looking at the thermal imaging. I don't think it's ever a bad idea. Just think that it's something that, let's not make too much of it, especially when we got these challenging conditions. If you're getting your house inspected and it's the same temperature outside as it is inside, because it's a nice, beautiful summer day, I wouldn't be too impressed with the results. It's just camera pictures, or it's just thermal guns. Does that make sense?